Skylar, thanks for doing this with me.
No problem at all.
Um, so you just put out an album with your band Straight Line Arrival.
Hell yeah, I did.
I first of all, I know you know this, but I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing. I thought you did a killer job on it. Um, what for people who don't know Straight Line, how would you like describe your guys' music style and stuff?
Uh, I guess it started out solo acousticy bedroom punky kind of shit, and it kind of just growed. And I have experimented with kind of a little bit of everything, pushing what I can do with it. And I guess from there, I just went kind of now it's kind of just an emo punk band, and it's kind of just morphed into what it is now, and it'll probably just keep going. I'm not sure what the end goal is, but I guess emo punk is the label I used to describe it.
Yeah, I think that fits pretty well. Yeah, no. What did you? Why did you switch genres? Cause I personally like the switch. I think it fits you. I think it fits you all really well. But what kind of came to you and made you think that you wanted to switch genres and into less of a solo folk punk thing and into more of a full band sound? Even though I know you had Chris on drums even for the folk punk stuff, but what made you want to do like the emo punk sound in general?
I'd have to say it would be everybody bullying me into getting an electric because the acoustic just causes way too much feedback live, and it's a hassle. Bands that are able to do it, I don't know how. Every single time I try going about it, it's nothing but problems every time.
Huh.
So yeah, everybody got tired, especially my guitar. It was notorious. It was just awful at sound checks and everything. It was time to get rid of it, time to move on to something. And I could have just got myself like a better acoustic, but everybody's just like, no, just get yourself an electric. So I did.
Huh.
And then I was just playing on that, and I started writing on that, and I was like, okay, well, record an acoustic, and people were just around me were just like, no, no, don't do that. And I was like, okay, I guess I won't. I'm just really susceptible to peer pressure.
Yeah, I remember. I
I've had like
remember.
I've had like three people around me consistently all quarantine, and when they all have the same idea, I just roll with it.
I think just punks in general are kind of fucking susceptible to peer pressure. I know there's many a times where people are like, "Hey, throw that bottle at that car," and I'm just like, "Okay." like we just kind of do shit when someone says it. I think that's part of our design.
It really is. Just think first, act later.
Exactly. It's just
Sorry,
like,
act first, think
yeah,
later.
act versus think later. Just like, okay, just go for it and deal with the issues that come with it later. God, yeah. Yeah, no, I really really enjoyed the transitional sound. So a lot of the times when a band like transitions into a new sound, it's usually a little awkward, right? But I think you all pulled it off like really really well. I really liked how you all pulled it off. I don't think it was
Yeah.
awkward. I
I
think
mean,
it sounded consistent and solid. I think you guys had a good amount of like change throughout the album to where it doesn't all sound the same. I really really liked it and appreciated it.
yeah, I still used a lot of folk punk influence, and by that, on this record specifically, I looked at like the pacing and the style of records like Days and Days
Yeah.
records and like Rent Strikes Nine,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really really diverse. All of those albums,
Oh yeah.
like it goes from like country ballads to straight up like screamo to fucking thrash to fucking everything. Like it's
Yeah.
it's really diverse, and I figured I had to go about it that way.
Yeah, and I think it really translates. I especially recognize the influence in your guys' lyrics. In the lyrics, I definitely heard a lot of like folk punk kind of inspiration. How it's like kind of half wrapped in metaphor, where like you'll say a metaphor and then directly afterwards you'll say the meaning behind that metaphor sometimes, and stuff like that. And I really like that style. I think it's interesting because it's unusual because usually you only get one or the other.
Well, it's that's a cool thing about the way I'm choosing to do these records. I guess I'm writing them like it's based around my life, but it's exaggerated. It's put like through the lens of another character.
Yeah.
Going through like similar things. So I'm able to mention like what I'm actually going through, and but I'm also able to like make it relatable and only be as specific as I need to be.
Yeah, exactly. I
It's
think it's really cool.
yeah, it took a lot. I actually one of the people I really looked for was Happy Happy. It's probably the only artist I ever listened to most of the time.
Yeah, Happy's great.
And yeah, that's exactly what they do. It's just they sometimes get a little bit more specific than me, but it's just vague enough to be relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. I think
And
it's
but it's also honest. It has to punch hard. That's what I like about folk punk. It
yeah,
just
same. It's so authentic, and that's why I had the comment in the video I made about the album that I think it was harsher, more gritty than emo, but more authentic than post-hardcore. I think is what I said, or something like that. And
oh definitely.
I think it's definitely true because like I think the issue I have with a lot of post-hardcore is that they're singing about like heartbreak and stuff like that, but it doesn't sound honest because there's too much theatrics, which is
Yeah,
why I like folk punk.
it's super fucking dramatic and just like overly done a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's why I like folk punk so much because it's so like just open. Like I think that's what drew me to folk punk when I first heard it was just it's so open, and also the fact that I was homeless at the time. I mean, if you're homeless and you don't listen to folk punk, I don't know what's happening, but it's how it is. But yeah, no, the album's fucking amazing. I'm gonna really quickly link it in my live chat. Actually, anyone who's
Sounds great.
watching needs to listen to Straight Line Arrival's new album. It is incredible. It is actually incredible. Because I was a really big fan of the Greatest Arsonist. I thought that was like okay, cool. That's like what Straight Line Arrival is. It's a really defining sound. It's great. I love how they all wrote it, and that's just gonna be like where it's at. And then you all came out with the Greatest Letdown. I was like, oh fuck. It's like oh fuck. All right, shit. That's really good. I like this a lot. Like it's just
Yeah,
such a
and
switch up.
I sang like a lot quieter during a lot of like the initial practices. Like I knew what I was going to do, but I was trying to save my voice for recording.
Yeah,
And there's no purpose like blowing out my voice by singing like that way 5 times in a row for a song where just
yeah,
practicing.
yeah.
And yeah, I remember showing like the intro track to my bassist, and he's just like, "Oh fuck, I didn't think you were gonna do that."
I love that. Yeah, no, when I
And
was sorry, go on.
that was something I did a couple times that record. I recorded back to myself all in one vocal take.
That's
That's
insane.
all one front to back, and I just went with it. I was like, I like it. That's the one. I'm just gonna stick with it.
That's sick. I love that. Yeah, when I was in a hardcore band for a while, and I always made the mistake of blowing out my fucking voice at practice, and it always happened right before a show too. It was so unfortunate every single fucking time.
Oh, it's never worth it. Never
It's
ever.
never worth it. I towards the end of that band, I started being like, I should be more careful with my voice. But it was already like too late.
I remember one time I got booked very early on in my. I honestly wasn't ready for it, but they booked me anyways, and everybody like kind of vouched for me, and I got to do like this artist night thing that used to be like super prestigious, I guess, in Bismarck.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I had to come up and do an hour of original material.
Ooh.
I my voice blew out like God,
Oh.
25 minutes in.
Oh, that
And
sucks.
I just kept going.
Oh my god. Were you like coughing up blood or anything, or was it just like a blowout?
It was just really fucking scratchy. My voice cracked for the rest of the 35 minutes. I feel really sorry for everybody that was there.
Oh god. That's fair. Yeah.
I was not. I was still like open mic. Like getting into it. That was the
Oh
stage
yeah,
I was at.
you were still at the open mic phase. Yeah, I with my first band, we weren't ready for it at all, and we opened, or no, we didn't open. We closed the show. We headlined. We were a local band. It was a local show in Tacoma, which you know, I don't know how much you know about Washington, but like Tacoma's like the second city that people book in if you're booking on the west side of Washington, not including like Spokane and the Tri Cities and stuff on on the southeast side of Washington. But most people go to Seattle and then they bounce. But if you do multiple shows in Seattle, and if you're not going to Spokane, you go to Tacoma. Because it's like it's like enough of a different crowd, but it's really hard to pull Seattle folks to Tacoma because it's like a 40-minute drive. So so we headlined this like local show for in Tacoma, and I think about 3 people stayed, including the sound guy. At this venue, and we were just like, oof, this sucks. Why did we agree to this? Why did we agree to fucking do this?
I've gone to shows like that to where like it's just been the person there, and it's like, I'm so sorry I invited so many people, and it's like, no, I understand. Let's go busk.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was so much fun. And we went and busked and bought beer,
Oh, that's sick.
and it just had a grand old time. Everybody just sat out playing songs.
Dude, yeah, no, I that was the show I met one of my favorite grind locals here. Shout out to Crude Goons. They're a local grind band here, and they're fucking great people. They like after we played, they got off when we got off stage and unloaded, they were like, "Man, that was rough. That sucked." And I was like, we were like, "Yeah, that was like one of our worst shows, and nobody was there to see it. Thank God, at least." And they were like, "Yeah, well, come drink beer with us." And we was like, okay. So we did. They got some 40s for us, and we just sat outside their car and just drank and like shot the shit around and stuff. It was great. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm part of this. It's great.
Honestly, some of those smaller shows are really great.
Yeah.
I had one of my favorite bands ever play in my basement once because they were just like stopping
Oh, nice.
between Montana and Fargo. And I was like, hey, I'm at the halfway point. Just stay here. Y'all can play a show. Like, it'll be cool.
Nice.
And like only like 3 people stayed for these people. And they were pretty big. They were a bigger band. But like 2 of the people that were there, it was like their first punk show ever.
Oh, really?
Just these kids, they were stopping through the record show and overheard someone talking about it. So like the entire show, we had to be like really like DL like down low about
Yeah.
beer and drinking and stuff because they were like, I think the one kid was like 12,
Oh,
and
shit.
his older brother was his older brother was with him, and he was 16.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and both bands were just like, no, we're putting on the show for those kids.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
gotta.
both of the touring bands, and I'm like, y'all, I'm sorry, y'all don't have to do this. Like because I tell they were a bit frustrated with the turnouts. I was like, no, we're gonna do it.
I love that. That's so
It was
sick,
a cool,
though.
yeah, it was the coolest thing. It was so
That's-
wholesome.
When there's a house venue in Seattle called The Hive. Shout out to them. It's like they're my favorite venue. I love them. Sweetest people ever. They put on hardcore shows. They put on grind and noise shows, and they put on folk punk shows. Fucking love them. They put on a show for Chad Hates George when they rolled through Seattle. I think it was like around the time when the last Days and Days tour was happening, and when they came through, and there was so many like people who were like, I've never been to a punk show before. I didn't know what Ask a Punk means or anything like that. And I was just like, oh, you babies, I love you. Come here, let me protect you. It was so good.
Gosh, what a time.
Right? And we sat up in their living room, and like there was a random balloon. Someone brought like a balloon, don't know why. And we just started we started playing the game of making sure the balloon doesn't touch the ground. And so we just kept passing this balloon around the living room. It was so fucking fun. It was stupid, boring, but yet fun at the same time.
That's one of the things I really honestly don't like about this transition is that we're very limited on what type of house shows we can play because I don't want to drag around a whole ass PA with me around an entire tour.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always the issue with like electric shows. That's why it's like I want more, because like I'm really into the hardcore scene, especially around my area. There's a lot of really great people, a lot of really great bands here, but it's so frustrating. So I'm just like, you guys need to do more house shows, and they're like, we can't, and I'm like, I know, but you have to. Come on, please. House shows are so fun. It's like venue shows are
Uh,
cool and all, but house shows, just something about it, just it really hits the spot.
yeah, I've put on one show in my place.
I wish I had the ability to, but houses are so fucking expensive where I live.
They're pretty expensive here too.
Oh
My
yeah,
place
true.
actually just sold. Weirdest thing, like they've been showing our house during this pandemic.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and we've just had to like be here or like go out to the garage.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, it's nuts. It's
God,
been weird, fam.
that's insane. I don't.
Yeah, yeah, but it's sold.
That's insane.
Yeah, I like kicked a couple of people out. I was like, hey, you all have to wear a mask. Like
Yeah.
when they came up to the door.
Hey.
Like I'd see him come up to the door, and then like I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go out of here, I guess, walk my dog or something.
Yeah. How the fuck, man? That's so.
But
I'd
yeah,
be
yeah,
so
yeah, they
uneasy.
sold it. I don't even know who the new landlord is. They said they were gonna be hitting us up,
Oh, that's weird. So,
and
like, but they're still
they
renting it out to you
nobody
guys?
did.
Oh, nobody did?
I don't know what's going on. Rent's due in like 12 days. I don't know where it goes.
What the fuck?
It's the funniest goddamn thing.
Just well, if I don't know where to send it,
This
then I guess I
pandemic
can't pay
is-
it.
This pandemic is wild.
God, yeah, that I seeing your like updates about Fargo or wherever like you guys are is just it's like such a stark difference between there and Washington, where it's like you'll see the occasional like Trumper around here, but everyone just kind of looks at them and laughs at them, and but like and then but, like everyone basically wears masks and shit, so it's like pretty decent here. We shut down like once every like 2 months though, but that's fine. I'd rather have that over the alternative. But then like seeing your updates, I just have to remember like, man, it could be worse. Could be worse.
Fam, we have like a third of the deaths Minnesota has with an eighth of the population. Like it
Holy
is
shit.
nuts. These people still think it's fake.
Oh my god. Yeah,
However, I did post a photo of a local Trump store signs changing from Trump 1 to Trump 2024.
I love that.
And yeah, I posted that up in r/Fargo, expecting to get roasted. And I was like, there's no way r/Fargo is like on board with me making fun of this. I'm gonna get torn to shreds. But nah, everybody in there was just like, yeah, fuck that dude. And I was like, whoa, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, I was expecting the similar thing because we had during the protest
Fargo's cooler than I thought.
Yeah, that's sick. Like we had the opposite over here because during the protest we had Chaz, which is later renamed. I forget what the renamed acronym was, but the exclusion zone. We had the autonomous zone on Capitol Hill in Seattle, and I was posting about it in r/Seattle, expecting to get like a normal response, like kind of a like in support response, and no, like everybody was roasting me, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here? The fuck. It was really interesting because like if I post that anywhere else that's like a Seattle forum, most of the time they're gonna be like, yeah, we support that. I think that's cool. I think it's interesting. But no, they were just like, fuck that. And I was like, what the fuck? This is weird. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting how that kind of shit works. Like, but moving on. I know you drink, and I drink as well. I was curious.
Yeah, once every month, or
Yeah,
so. I like to remind myself why I don't drink.
Yeah, that's fair. I do the same thing where it just I because I was getting to a point, especially with the pandemic, where I was drinking like way too much because I got into making cocktails. So I was like, well, fuck, now I can just drink whatever the fuck I want, and so it became kind of started becoming an issue for productivity and also my life. So I was like, I need to cut down to like once a month I'll get trashed when I have like a good weekend, but otherwise I'm just chilling.
Yeah, release night on the new record, I had a whole ass bloody bar.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had Absolute Papar. I had like 4 different bloody mixes. I had some Clamato going. I had peppercini, banana peppers, olives.
Ooh.
Like 2 types of pickles are refrigerated pickles, because if your pickles are warm and on a shelf, they're garbage.
True, I agree. I 100% agree.
Absolute garbage. They have to be refrigerated throughout the whole process.
I agree. Dude. Okay, so I was gonna ask, do you have a favorite drink? And if you don't have a favorite cocktail, what's like your favorite alcohol? I guess.
Oh, I like clam diggers, which are ounce and a half absolute per par. Glass full ice, very important. Always a full ice in every cocktail.
Yes.
But yeah. And then from there, it's a splash of banana pepper juice, and then clamato, preferably clamato with limon,
Mm,
and then yeah, then just 3 olives, some banana peppers, and a pickle.
nice.
Stir it up, and it's damn good. It's just a really simple, spicy, bloody, super simple. It's
I
really
love that.
popular over here.
I love that. Mine's like
Yeah,
super basic. I like a Moscow Mule. Just
there you go.
yeah, I just like a Moscow Mule. Just it's simple. Every bartender on God's green earth fucking knows it. It's super easy to order.
Yeah, or iced coffee with Bailey's and amaretto.
Oh, nice.
That's a good time.
Yeah, that's really good. There's one drink that that I made for my partner that I do music videos with, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "I don't remember the name. It's a gin drink though." And he was like, "You should just call it the Hollow Heart," which is like a production company. And I was like, "All right, sure." And it's 2 ounces of gin, ounce and a half of vermouth, and then like half ounce of simple syrup, half ounce of lemon, half ounce of lime, and then like a dash of orange bitters.
Mm.
And it's nice. I like it. It has like a light kick, but it's super good. Pretty bitter. But yeah,
There you
no,
go.
yeah. I I remember I just wanted to ask you that because I never knew what your favorite drink was, and I was like I like asking people about if they drink about what their drink is, drink of choices.
Yeah. yeah. I don't. I guess I don't got anything like too like basic or simple. I guess I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's basic or simple. If you like it, you like it. Like I just
Yeah.
choose a Moscow Mule because it's like
Oh.
it's something I just like throwing
All
together.
the drink I probably return to the most would have to be raspberry lambic.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good one actually. Yeah. God, there was one I made that was like it was like Jamaican rum and then strawberries, lime, and simple syrup. And that one is really good. And you keep the strawberries in the actual glass as well, so they like soak in rum, and then you can eat them afterwards. Get you real fucked.
Mm.
Get you real fucked. I remember I was like, oh, I'll eat the strawberry at the end of it, and I was like a little buzz, and I ate the strawberry, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh, that was a
There it is.
mistake.
I tried making somebody left a bottle of Kharkov at my place, so I just soaked a bunch of gummy worms in it. And
Nice.
it just turned into like the grossest tasting gummy worms I've ever tasted. And like the outside of them had a really weird texture. Like it was almost like
Oh
fuzzy with
God.
chewy on the inside. It was awful.
Oh
It was the
God.
worst experience ever. I was like, I
That's
can't believe people like recommend doing this.
that just sounds like fucking like you're eating fuzz. Oh, I hate that.
Fuzz that tastes like Kharkov.
Oh, it's even worse.
Kharkov with sugar in it.
Ooh. Oh God.
Oh god,
That's
that was
so
dumb.
good.
They sat in my fridge for like 2 months. I swear to God, nobody touched them.
Oh no. That's so good though. That's like God, that yeah, that sounds about right. I've never tried infusing anything aside from like a couple berries into with alcohol, but that sounds truly awful.
Oh, I had a Four Loco seltzer for the first time the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess it was a couple weeks ago.
How was
But
it?
yeah, it it was Four Loco. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
like me and my buddy Tim, we smashed them down in like 5 minutes.
Oof.
Like we got them. We went into the garage. We had a cigarette, and by the time we came inside, they were gone.
Oh yeah, that sounds like the authentic Four Loco experience right there.
Ugh, I felt so sick.
Yeah, for something about
I,
Four
I'm
Locos, man.
maybe I'm old, but like, yeah, a whole like day and a half, 2 days.
God, yeah, that sounds like it. every time I drink a Four Loco, I can drink 40s and I'm fine. I can drink any kind of beer and I'm fine, even IPAs, even though my stomach hates me afterwards. And I don't normally drink them, but something about Four Locos, they fucking hit different.
We would have shift beers at work, and they would be mugs. So like 22-ounce mugs that we'd get for our shift beer at the end of the night. And we had a Surly Todd the Axeman, which was like a really, really, really hoppy IPA, really light, really hoppy.
Yeah.
Tastes like you're licking like the bottom of a like one of those rusty red wagons that everybody has as a
Ooh.
kid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I did a trick. I taught myself to pound an entire 22-ounce mug in one go.
Oh God.
And I did it with the Axeman, which is like a $9 mug of beer.
Oh no.
And everybody around me just looked at it like they're like impressed, and then all of a sudden it hit me, and like I felt the carbonation coming up, and I just sprinted to the restroom.
Oh, no.
I was like spraying beer foam out my nose at like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Oh no, Skylar.
It was the worst.
Oh no.
I got it too. What a waste.
Oh man. Oh no. One of my when I was in my hardcore band, me and my guitarist went to go get some liquor at the store, and we didn't have like any money. We are super broke because we got convinced to get into this really predatory management deal. Super dumb of us. We were super young and small, and we still somehow accepted this deal. I don't understand how we did that. Um, and so we went to go get the cheapest like pint of vodka we could find. We got like a $2 bottle of or pint of this like really shit just potato vodka, and I picked up like a little pint of orange juice as well. And my guitarist said when we were walking back to my apartment, he was like, "All right, let's see how potato this vodka is," and then like swigged it, and then swigged some orange juice, swallowed, just went, "Huh, that's," and then just yacked it all up in like just one in just one go. Oh wow, hi cat. In just one fucking motion, just turned around and yacked it all over his fucking longboard. It felt so bad. It's like, ooh, that's unfortunate.
I went to one of my friend's birthday parties on 4th of July.
Oh, nice.
And we just sat up on top of a garage and had a couple beers and just chilled. Only like the circle. And like we were me and my girlfriend were longboarding back home. And these people are like, "Can I get an oh yeah?" And I was like, "Oh yeah?" Like really, really fucking loud. And they just come sprinting, and they're just like, hey, is it okay? And they stop like a couple feet away, and I was like, yeah, and he just hands me a beer.
That's so sick.
Gave Cristiano one.
That's so sick. I love
Yeah.
that.
It was rad as hell. I loved it.
That's so sick. I haven't been anywhere in so long, dude. Like I've been to work and back, and I was about to say I've been to play D&D, but like I live with half the party, so it's like, well, yeah, I guess I have. But like
I went
it's so
to a
unfortunate.
drive-in movie the other night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like it wasn't like a whole like drive-in theater. It was a bank parking lot that had a small grass field next to it, so they set up a giant like screen. They had an ice house that had a projector shooting out of it, and they had like a shoddy FM transmitter that had a range of like 150 feet.
Oh shit.
But yeah. Watch
That's sick,
Polar
though.
Express and then watch Jingle All the Way.
Oh, nice.
I think that's the most exciting thing I've done in like 5 months.
Yeah. I think the only fuck. That is really the state of this year, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Fuck. I think the most exciting things I've done is I shot a music video, super socially distanced, and then shot an interview with a hardcore band as well, super socially distanced. And that was the only time I've seen music people this entire year. It just feels
Oh,
bad,
gosh.
man. It felt so bad. I was
People are
like,
playing people are playing shows and setting up shows right now.
I know, it's insane.
There's a show on New Year's here.
Really?
Yeah,
Like a
bars are
venue?
still open here, fam.
Oh,
Yeah, bars are still
fuck.
open.
Yeah.
They quit testing. They quit testing here. So like our
What?
cases dropped. Our cases dropped a ton. Half of our counties quit testing, so you have to go a county away to test. Which this place is really rural, so they have an excuse to be able to do that. So the deaths tripled, but the cases went down to a tenth of what they were.
Holy fuck.
And everybody just like, well, the cases have dropped so much, and the deaths are like triple. They're like, no, everybody's still sick. They're like, no, look at the case numbers.
Oh my fucking god. That's insane.
Yeah, it's so weird. Libertarians, fam, they're on one.
They really are on one. I remember when I was like 16 and knew nothing about politics. I heard like the very basics of libertarianism, which is like fuck the government, like they can't tell you what to do sort of shit. And I was like, yeah, that's what I am. And then I read into what more libertarianism is, and I was like, oh, that's not what I am. That's in fact the exact opposite.
That sounds great.
Yeah, like I was like,
Yeah. It's goes from to like the non-aggression principle strictly into like, all right, now this is why poor people deserve to die.
yeah, exactly. It's like, what the fuck? That's insane. It's
All right,
like,
forgive me
jeez.
while I turn on a really staticky TV for like 15 seconds.
It's all good. It's like perfect for a VHS video.
That's fine. We got lots of plants up here.
So, I was curious as well if you had an album of the year pick so far.
Oh my god, this is so like yellow.
Happy lapel de vie. Easy.
That's a good pick, yeah. That is a good pick. They're definitely in my top 5, that's for sure. That album. For me right now, it's outside of folk punk, but it's probably My Agenda by Dorian Electra. It's a really good album.
Yeah, if not that one, You'll Be Fine by Hot Mulligan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good too.
I love that record so much.
It's super fucking good. I need to listen to it again. I listened to it when it came out, and I haven't re-listened to it yet. So I need to do that on one of my work nights.
I swear to God, I've heard that album 100 times this pandemic.
That's fair. That's a very pandemic-y album. It's very good
Someone-
for that.
Someone over in the UK was like, listen to my record now out of nowhere. And I still don't know how they got this out of it. And they're like, this sounds like Hot Mulligan. And I was like, really?
Wait, really?
I was like, really?
That's sick. That's so good. I love shit like that,
Yeah.
where it's like, we have for our D&D podcast, we have like almost a quarter of our audience is Italian. So I'm just like, all right, what's good, Italians? Hey, I don't know how you got here, but how do you do, Lee? We play D&D real stupidly. Then like also like I think 65% of our audience is non-binary, so I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. That's what I want. That's the audience I want. Fuck yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I was like, that's sick. My partner's non-binary, so that's sick actually. I love that. It's like it's
All
not
right,
even like sorry, go on.
I am going to take a 2-minute break to go pee quick.
Go have fun.
Like, we can't train
Yeah, that monster I drank. It's
running through
it just expired.
it's angry.
you.
All right, I'll be right back.
For sure. So I was also curious actually. Going back to the new release, what was the main like inspirations you pulled for the sound, like itself, for like the emo punk sound? Like what artists like in that kind of realm were you kind of pulling inspiration from?
I guess it kind of switched around at different parts. I guess in the very beginning it was kind of like very, very My Chemical Romance-y.
Yeah.
And I guess I ended up switching over to, I guess, they're like uber canceled now, I'm pretty sure, but I used to listen to a lot of Sorority Noise back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess specifically Simple Isn't It?
Oh yeah.
That is like that's an American Idiot song right there.
Yeah.
To make arrows.
100%.
That one.
I love that one. I think.
Yeah, and then yeah, I guess some of the other songs are just like really punky and fun. Some of them started out as like finger exercises actually.
Oh really?
That's there watching.
Huh.
That one started out as a finger exercise. I wrote that song around the guitar.
Huh.
Yeah,
love that.
so yeah, that one was kind of fun. I think that's how like a lot of different songs have been wrote actually. I know that Sweet Child of Mine was just a slash finger exercise.
Nice.
They just heard him stretching his fingers one day and they're like, let's do that. And he's like, no. And they're like, let's do that. And he was like, no. And they're like, let's do that. And he's like, okay, fuck.
I feel that.
Or something like that.
That was how a lot of the songs from my old band got written. It was just our guitarist would be playing something just to warm up, and we'd be like, "Yo, let's do that," and he's like, "Ugh, fucking whatever."
Yeah, for the next record, which I'm already in the process of writing, we are getting a new guitarist, so that's been a lot of fun.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. Just started work. We got like the background to one song wrote already.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Grubs over here.
I remember my old band. I keep going back to this. I'm sorry. My old band. We
That's
wanted
whatever.
we wanted to do like I don't know if you know them, but there's a band called I Wrestled a Bear Once, and their last
Yeah.
EP. Their last EP was like the pinnacle of heavy music for me, especially at that point in time. It's like super like technical yet still really heavy and punchy. And it was like, and the musicianship didn't take away from songwriting, which I feel like happens a lot when you have like a really technical sound. I feel like a lot of the time when people are really, really, really technical, sometimes it can take away from the actual songwriting from the song, and it just kind of turns into, hey, look what I can do on my guitar, you know? But I was like, I love this album. I love this album. I love the sound. I want to do song like albums and sound. Fuck, Jesus, can I talk? I want to do a sound like this. And we, the rest of my band agreed, and we started trying to find like a lead guitarist who can do that kind of stuff consistently. And almost every single one that we tried out was just like, oh, so you want like a solo? And then they would just do like a really like shitty tap solo. I was like, oh
gosh.
well, I guess no, not really. We play like hardcore and deathcore, so no. And they're like, oh, so you want like a sweep? And we're just like, no, fuck. All right, well, thanks for coming. Sorry to make you drive. Fuck.
Yeah, the sweep that is in the sweep that I did in God damn it, track 6. So they say.
Yeah.
Sorry. For the longest time, the tracks were just called track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5. Seriously, up until like a month before release.
Oh, really?
I wasn't 100% sure what most of the song names were.
Huh.
Yeah, I wasn't dead set on a lot of them yet.
That makes sense. That's so
But
funny,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, on that one, the sweep that I had, that's just I've been practicing that specific sweep for like God, 12 years now.
Shit, dude. Holy shit.
That's just like one of the things I do when I have a guitar in my hand. I just like do that sweep over and over.
I love that sweep too. It reminds me, there's this one song that I always play on road trips called Always Focus by Tiny Moving Parts. It just reminds me of the sweep in that song too. I fucking love that like kind of sound.
Oh yeah. Like you go from punky to melodic.
Yeah.
I actually listened to that song again after you referenced it.
Oh, nice.
And he got better with it later, but playing on that song, like I imagine like it was just he had to sing almost all the notes like in time with the guitar.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Just because it looked just that hard.
God, yeah, that's insane.
That would have been impossible.
Dude, tiny moving parts is so wacky. Like, God, they're so wacky. I love them. I want more of them.
Yeah, I missed out on seeing them. I think they played one of the last shows at this venue called the New Direction that was here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I landed actually on like they still have a yearly festival, and I landed on it the year before Corona.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, the March before this one. Yeah, open for Tiger's Jaw and Me Without You.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, and
That's
Jetty
rad.
Bones played the third day.
Oh shit. That's so sick.
Yeah, that's a damn good time. I'm gonna hopefully play
Dude,
on it next year.
Dude, I can't wait till shows come back. Like fuck, dude.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Fuck. There
I'm
was
so
a
excited.
there was a Seeker show here and during in like March. And I was like fuck, dude, I want to go to this so bad, but I'm not. I can't do that. And I just saw a bunch of videos from it and I was like, ugh, I hate you all, but I want to be there too. I'm so angry at you all for going to this fucking thing, but I'm glad I didn't go, but I wish I did. But I also know it'd be really bad. I just want to go to shows again.
Yeah, like I don't even really have one lined up for the future. I got asked if I wanted to do a show in October of next year. And I was just like, I mean, ideally, yeah. Ask me later, I guess.
Yeah, that's what's unfortunate. I remember when it all started, it was super unfortunate. I was gonna go see Spite and Varials, two very good hardcore bands that I highly recommend. And I was gonna go see them in like February, and they were like one of the first shows that got canceled here. And then they were like, "Oh, we'll be back in 6 months. It'll be over in 6 months." And I was like, "Nice." And then that show got canceled, and then they were like, "Next year we'll be back," and then that show got canceled. Now they're like, "Eventually we'll be back." I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh gosh.
yeah." It sucks so much to see artists have to do shit like that, where it's just like where they have to keep rescheduling the tour they were on or some shit. It's like, oh fuck, that's so unfortunate. I remember that didn't that happen to you too? You were planning to come like do a tour, right?
Yeah, I had a tour planned. What happened when the pandemic first hit is I was scheduled to go play a festival down in Austin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was over my birthday.
Oh,
And it got canceled
fuck.
just a couple days beforehand.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess I was supposed to leave on March 19th, and my birthday was March 22nd, and everything shut down on March 17th.
oh, that sucks.
Sucked. So yeah. So yeah, I started the pandemic on my birthday. It was fun. It was weird.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
I got uber trash. It was the weirdest drunk of my life.
Dude, my partner, they just turned 21 and like on the 12th because their birthday's on December 12th, and they just turned 21, and I was like, man, that sucks. That sucks that you turned 21 this year, man. I don't know what else to tell you.
I have a friend that lives down the street from me. That turned 21 throughout all this.
That sucks. I feel so bad for people who turn 21 throughout this, man. It's just like, oh fuck. That's so
I feel
unfortunate.
really bad for one of my friends who is under 21, almost going to be 21. Next year they're 21. But they were working at a gas station, smoking legally. And then when the change hit, I think over like last year,
Oh,
I think it
yeah.
happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when the change hit, all of a sudden they can't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
And they work at a place where they sell cigarettes to everybody else, but they can no longer have them
Oh, that's
for
so
another year and a
unfortunate.
half.
That
And I'm just like,
sucks.
oh no.
Yeah, that happened to my partner too. They were they were working at a sex toy shop here, and then the change hit in smoking legally, and then the change hit, and then they were like, well, this sucks. I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. Great.
Gosh. I feel really bad for the people that like that's almost as bad as getting hooked on the mango jewel pods.
It really is, yeah.
Those things were crack.
They really were. They were so fucking good.
me taking a piss break at work like every 30 minutes.
Dude,
Just ripping the
yes.
jewel.
That happened to me. That happened to me too. Because I have like one of the bigger mods. Because I went from smoking like a pack and a half a day to vaping, so I have one of the bigger mods. Because
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes the serotonin in my brain go burr, but it broke, so I had a jewel, and so that's what I ended up doing, was just like every like once an hour, you'd be like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, boss. I'll be right back." And he was like, "All right, man." And I was just going in the bathroom for like 5 minutes, and then just be like, "All right, cool," and then just leave. Oh god, I couldn't stop myself. I was like, "This mango jewel pods are so fucking good. They're way too good." Um, another question. So I know you said after The Greatest Arsonist, when you started writing The Greatest Letdown, you said they were connected story wise. Is that gonna be
Oh yeah.
Is that gonna be the same thing for the new album that you're writing?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
There is gonna be a third one. I'm just not dead set on if what I'm writing is the third record yet or not.
Yeah. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I can't describe to you how much I love story albums like that, like concept albums. I love concept albums. I grew up with like new metal and shit because my dad was really into like System of a Down, and Rage Against the Machine, and that sort of stuff. And then
American Idiot was my first CD ever, and it's
Really?
all I had to listen to for like a year of my life.
oh man, I think
I had a Walkman CD player, and I had a copy of American Idiot.
that's so sick. I think my first CD was Common Courtesy. No, it wasn't Common Courtesy by I didn't remember. That was my second CD. My first CD was Siren Songs and Counterculture by Rise Against. That was my first CD. So also,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, it was also my first show. My first show was seeing Rise Against and The Day They Remember.
There's a lot of aloe.
My first show,
There's just a lot of aloe
was-
in general.
I saw Green Day on their second show after their hiatus, directly after releasing 21st Century Breakdown.
Really? That's
Yeah.
insane. That's so sick.
It was intense.
God, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
They played for like 3
but I don't
fucking
think-
hours.
Oh my god.
And
Holy
I felt
fuck.
really bad because like little like
Yeah.
13-year-old me, they took me out for like wings and stuff before the concert, and then my folks were just like, okay, I guess you can go up front. And I got all the way up front, but look, my stomach hurt and I had the worst farts ever, and I'm pretty sure I ruined like 8 people's concert. It was the best life, but everyone around me had an awful time, and I don't fucking care about it.
That's
it's
so
12.
funny. That's so good. Oh god, I think for my show we were in nosebleeds. Yeah, like because it was like an arena show, and for my show we were in nosebleeds, and I was like, my dad took me, because my dad's like an '80s punk, so he loves like Black Flag and Dead Kennedys and Minor Threat and all that shit, and his first concert ever was the Butthole Surfers, so he was like, you want to go to a punk show? Yeah, we'll go to a punk show. Of course we'll go to a punk show. Where is it? Oh, an arena. Son, that's no fucking punk show. And I was just like, okay, Dad. Will you still take me? And he was like, yeah, of course. And then he took me, and he was like, yeah, they're still good. So, but like the whole time the guys next to us were just smoking a shitload of weed. And every now and again, when my dad didn't think I was looking, I would look over, and he'd just be like sneakily trying to hit the pipe. And I'm like, all right, Dad, whatever you say, bud.
Gosh, I remember I ended up getting dragged to a Breaking Benjamin concert when I was like, gosh, I think I was like 20.
Oh, really?
And I ended up just breaking out my pack of cigarettes because like I just didn't care if I got kicked out or not, and I just started smoking in the middle of the crowd in this like indoor arena. Just like trashed off $8 Coors Lights. Breaking Benjamin's up there like, this song is for the troops, and I'm like lighting a cigarette, and I'm like, okay.
Oh god, I remember when I first got into my first band, my guitarist really likes Five Finger Death Punch, unfortunately. And he dragged me to a Five Finger Death Punch show when I was like, I think I was 17 and he was like 16. And it was like same thing, just every other song had like some insane meaning about either the troops or law enforcement or something. Me and my ACAB ass is just sitting there like, yeah, man. The troops, I guess, or something. Fuck. Why am I here? This is not the show where I belong. But my friend was like really into it. Thankfully, he's not into it anymore, though. So that's good. But fuck. It was one of those shows where I just felt out of place. It was like, oof, this is unfortunate. I had a similar experience actually when I went to a gun shop because my friend was buying a revolver because he was going like deep woods camping in like cougar territory. So he was like, I need to get a revolver, and I was like, okay, well I'll go to the shop with you, I guess. And when I went to the shop, I was looking at some of the guns, and the guys kept eyeing me because they were like, what is this fucking hippie punk looking guy doing in our gun shop? And then like I was like looking at this one gun, the guy like kind of slid up to me and he was like, "You want to hold it?" I was just like, "Sure, man. I guess." I don't care. I don't care. Sure, I guess. And he just handed it to me and started talking like about like specs or whatever, and I was just like, I don't care about any of this shit. I don't even know why I'm here. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay.
I was about to go into gun talk, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do gun talk. Doing gun talk is douchey. I don't like talking about. I'm not gonna be one of those people.
I feel that because I'm the same way. I'm the same way. My old roommate was really into gun talk, so I got so used to talking about guns. But I don't own any guns, so I'm just like I feel fake as fuck whenever I talk about guns. So anyways, back to your record release off of guns. Speaking of what I was saying, Greatest Arsonist and The Greatest Letdown, they're both connected. They're story wise.
Oh yeah.
What is the story that connects them? I guess for people who don't know.
Okay, Arsonist is like a coming of age story, like learning to confront and get past like the trauma of your formative years.
Yeah.
And like learning how to move on past that so you can like keep going with your life.
Yeah.
And the sequel starts out with after the entire city like burns down. Like the entire world just fucking like starts on fire around because that's what happened over the last year. It's like oh I burnt this huge chapter of my life, now everything else is like falling apart around me. It's like, oh shit.
Okay, yeah.
So our Arsonist, and then there's the Wolves, which I guess would be self-doubts, suicidal thoughts, just depressive symptoms in general. It's like still around. They came from the childhood traumas, and just because you get over it doesn't mean you've gotten over like the symptoms of it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
So yeah, and it's the Wolves are ever present. They're there during this entire thing, and it's like learning how to confront it. There isn't really a resolution yet, but it's like being like, yeah, I'm going to keep going. This is going to suck. It's going to get hard. This year is going to be awful, but I'm going to get through it. I'm going to make something out of it.
That's awesome. And, I love that.
Yeah, and I guess there's parallels between my life and the story that goes on with Arsonist, and it bounces between back and forth which one it's like more directly referring to.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's that one. And then I guess the story starts out more than anything just like extremely angry at the beginning. Angry, confused.
Oh yeah, well, especially with
Uh,
that first track.
like
The intro track,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just perfectly encapsulates that.
yeah, angry, confused, and it's out of nowhere too. That's one of the things I like between the transition. Big as that's
Yeah.
why this all happened, was just out of nowhere, abrupt, just a big change.
Yeah, and I think it.
So,
I think
yeah.
it really does it well.
Yeah, and then like just like this pandemic, everything calmed, everything kind of like hit a standstill, I guess. When one of my buddies died, and that's what Playing with Knives is about, and that's why it kind of switches up after that.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Because it went on to like a more of a, now I'm more aware of my mortality and the fact that I want to keep going and I don't want to die like him.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fuck. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's why the song right after it is So They Say. That song's about like my sobriety.
Okay, fuck yeah.
And I reference a Wingnut Dishwasher song
I
in there.
recognize that. Yeah, I heard that.
And I also reference Mischief Brew in that one.
Nice. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
I don't write songs about my sobriety very often, and
Yeah.
when I do, they don't make it onto records usually.
Yeah.
So yeah. With this one, I was like, I'm gonna toss some references and hope nobody gets mad at me for it.
I love when songs reference shit like that. So I think that's what I like about folk punk so much, is that they're so open to like referencing itself almost. It's kind of meta, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, there's entire verses of Wingnut Dishwasher songs that are like ripped off of somebody else.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's a lot of that kind of stuff. Also,
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
Hi, Retro Bros. Hey, Joss. Love you. Our friend in chat. Sorry. But yeah, no. I really like the story so far. I think it's interesting. I think it's a really relatable story. Especially, especially for the like subculture that we're both in. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a really relatable story.
Yeah, I guess one of my favorite albums of all time, if not my absolute favorite, is American Idiot. And my very favorite thing about the record is that it's a timepiece. It's like an important work of art that captures that year, that time it came out, it was released. It captures it perfectly.
Yeah, I agree.
And like that's what I want to write. I want to write timepieces, things that like attach to the year, that time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's great. I think you do a really good job of writing that like story. I think that story is interesting. I also don't think it's too subtle too. I think it's the right amount, because I think a lot of concept albums are a little too subtle sometimes with the story. Like, a lot of people wouldn't notice that there is a story behind it. But I think you do a really good job of that, of like the theme, you know?
Yeah, and then it's just enough to where you can tell. Like there are some times on the record where there's one time specifically I feel like I forced it, but that's it.
That's good though. Only one time is pretty good, because you know, some musicians be forcing it all the time. You know what I mean? So that's good. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. That's awesome, man. I've never like asked you what it was about, or what the story was about. I've just kind of tried to follow it through lyrics and stuff, and that's awesome. That's awesome. That's about what I thought it was.
It's definitely open for interpretation. Quite a bit. I do have it written down like really lengthy on my Bandcamp liner notes of Arsonist, what all the songs are about.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like As It Is Lonely, the ending that I repeat twice, that verse, that's one of the last messages one of my friends sent me before they passed away.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know that. Man,
that's why it like includes like a drunken typo and everything, just because I was gonna sing it how it was wrote.
Man, that's dark, but like wholesome in this at the same time. I don't know. That's
because I made a joke saying that's something that they said was gonna be on the record.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because I was like, that's really funny. I'm gonna sneak that onto my record somehow.
Huh. That's awesome though. I love that. I think it fits really well.
Yeah,
too.
that was the last song I snuck on Arsonist. I got it on like a couple days before I was like finishing up.
Damn. I also really quickly switching gears wanted to ask you because we're almost done, so this should finish out the rest of the podcast. But I wanted to really quickly ask you, how was the experience for mixing this the Greatest Letdown versus the Greatest Arsonist? I know you did the Greatest Arsonist completely by yourself, mixing
Yeah,
wise and all that stuff.
Arsonist was super cool because I did that entire record on the very first microphone I ever got,
Oh, really?
which was this really trashy, like $60. I think it's producer USB. It's a USB microphone. It plugs in like with the USB cord.
Oh, good. We
And
love that.
yeah, I recorded all of Arsonist with one mic, and it was that mic.
That's so good though. I love that. It's so like perfect.
Yeah. So it was a super limited album, but like I was having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I imagine.
But with this one, I was able to like really spend a lot of time researching and learning what I was doing, because I always told myself that if I had like a good decent sized budget and had just time just to focus on a record, that I could do it. And I always convinced myself that that's what holding me back, because I never had that, and now I finally was able to do it. So I was like, well, time to prove that that's like time to like back myself up,
Yeah.
learn
That's
money where my
awesome.
mouth is, and actually do it. So yeah, we sat down, we researched hard, and then we sent it in to somebody. We recorded it all in our basement, but we sent it off to somebody that we trusted a lot to mix it.
That's awesome. I think.
It was, they were able to turn something really great out of what we sent them. Yeah, Tyler Pilot did an absolutely fantastic job. I love it. Yeah, we just sat there waiting after we recorded it. Each track just came back bit by bit.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it's hard to. I think especially with like punk or folk punk, either of the two. I think it's really really scary to like send it off to somebody else to mix because the whole genre is so like DIY and it's so personal that it's kind of scary to send it off to someone. But I think they did an incredible job. I think Tyler did.
Yeah, and I
Great
very
job.
much trusted them. That is like 100% their intuition. There is hardly anything that I asked them to change beyond the initial mixes. Almost every single time I was like, yeah, this is great. I think the only thing I asked of him was I accidentally put an S sound at two words that weren't plural.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, just take out that S sound. And I was like, oh, and in this word, it's supposed to be plural, but I didn't make an S sound. Like, put it there.
Nice.
And that was it. That was like my only adjustments I'd asked for throughout the whole thing. That was it.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Hey, that comes to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm really happy I got to do
Sounds
the first one with you.
Hell yeah. Have yourself a nice one. I am going to, I guess, kick it, chillax. It's 10:41.
Yeah.
Girlfriend sleep. I'm gonna play some Legends.
Hey, nice. I'm probably gonna go play Conan Exiles with my roommates.
Have a nice one.
Hey, you too. See you, Skylar.